Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever felt a deep calling within you, an undeniable pull that sets you apart? That's not coincidence. That's not random. That is divine selection. You are one of God's chosen ones. But here's the truth. You cannot fulfill your purpose if you are distracted by things that don't serve you. The mind is powerful. It is the bridge between where you are and where God intends you to be. But too often we waste precious time on doubt, on people who drain our energy, on paths that were never meant for us. It's time to focus. It's time to align with your divine purpose. Tonight we are going to rewire our thinking. We are going to step into the energy of faith, discipline, and self-mastery, because when you stop wasting your time and start focusing on yourself, you activate the power God has already placed within you. And that is where transformation begins. Being chosen by God means you are different. It means you carry a unique energy, a divine assignment that sets you apart from the rest of the world. You were never meant to fit in, and that's why for most of your life you may have felt like you don't belong. You may have noticed that your path looks different from those around you. The struggles you face, the lessons you learn, and the battles you fight are not random. They are part of the process of becoming who you were meant to be. Many people spend their lives trying to conform, trying to be accepted, trying to find validation from others, but when you are chosen, the usual paths don't work for you. The approval of the world cannot satisfy your soul because your purpose isn't tied to worldly validation. You may have found yourself in situations where people misunderstand you, where relationships fade, where doors close unexpectedly. These experiences are not meant to break you, they are meant to shape you. God doesn't choose the ones who have it all figured out. He chooses the ones who are willing to be transformed, who are willing to surrender their old ways and step into something greater. When you are chosen, you cannot afford to live like everyone else. The distractions that others indulge in will drain you. The meaningless conversations, the empty pursuits, the shallow connections, they no longer resonate with you. And when you try to force yourself into spaces that do not align with your purpose, you feel the discomfort in your spirit. That discomfort is a sign. It is God's way of reminding you that you are not meant to lower yourself to fit into places you have outgrown. Being chosen means there will be seasons of isolation. There will be moments where you feel like you are walking alone, where you question why certain things happen the way they do. You may see others advancing while you feel stuck. You may watch people succeed in areas where you struggle. But understand this, your path is being divinely orchestrated. What is being built within you is not for temporary success, but for something far greater. The delay, the hardship, the loneliness, it is all preparation. The world moves fast, chasing after trends, temporary pleasures, and external validation. But you are being called to something deeper. You are being called to cultivate patience, to master your emotions, to elevate your thinking. You are being taught to trust in the unseen, to move in faith even when the physical evidence isn't there yet. That is why the journey of a chosen one isn't easy. It requires discipline, self-awareness, and a level of focus that most people will never understand. Not everyone will recognize your calling. Some will question why you've changed, why you don't engage in the same conversations, why you don't chase the same things. They won't understand the sacrifices you make, the battles you fight, the internal shifts happening within you, and that's okay. Your path is not meant to be understood by everyone. If you constantly seek validation from people who do not carry the vision that God has given you, you will always feel lost. God doesn't choose you and then leave you. He equips you. He places inside of you everything you need to succeed, but it is your responsibility to activate it. You must be willing to let go of old habits, old mindsets, and old attachments that no longer serve you. You must be willing to stand firm in your beliefs even when others doubt you. You must learn to be comfortable walking alone, because the road to greatness is not crowded. When you are chosen, your energy is different, your presence shifts atmospheres, your words carry weight, your thoughts create reality. That is why you cannot afford to think small. You cannot afford to lower your frequency to match the noise of the world. The power that is within you is waiting to be unlocked. But it requires you to rise above distractions, to stay disciplined, to stay focused. Most people live their lives reacting to circumstances, allowing the external world to dictate how they feel, how they think, and what they believe is possible. But you are not most people. You are called to operate at a higher level. You are called to create, to lead, to inspire. That requires a different level of awareness. It requires you to stop entertaining negativity, to stop wasting time on meaningless pursuits, to stop allowing fear and doubt to control your actions. There will be moments when you feel tired, when you feel like giving up, when you wonder if all of this is even worth it, but those are the moments that define you. Those are the moments when you have to remind yourself why you started, why you chose this path, why you refuse to settle for anything less than what God has promised you. You are not here to live an ordinary life. You are not here to be average. You are here to break barriers, to defy limitations, to step into the fullness of your potential. The shift happens when you start seeing yourself the way God sees you. When you stop looking for permission to be great, when you stop apologizing for your ambition, when you stop shrinking to make others comfortable, the moment you embrace who you are, the moment you fully step into your power, the world will have no choice but to adjust. Time is the most valuable resource you have, yet so many people waste it on things that bring no growth, no purpose, and no meaning. Every second spent in distractions, in unnecessary drama, in mindless activities is a second that could have been used to build something greater. When you are chosen, when you are called for something higher, you cannot afford to waste time on things that do not serve your destiny. Too often, people invest their time in relationships that drain them, conversations that lead nowhere, and situations that only create stress and negativity. They hold on to people who do not align with their vision, who do not inspire them, who do not push them to grow. They engage in arguments, gossip, and petty conflicts that add nothing to their lives. But when you are chosen, you must become aware of how you spend your energy. You must guard your time like the precious asset it is. People will pull you in different directions, expecting you to be available for their problems, their chaos, their distractions. They will call you selfish when you start saying no, when you start prioritizing your peace, when you start choosing your goals over their expectations. But you have to understand that every moment you give away to something meaningless is a moment taken from your purpose. The world is full of noise, full of distractions designed to keep you from focusing on what truly matters. Social media, endless scrolling, meaningless entertainment, these things consume time in small, unnoticed ways until days, weeks, and years pass by without progress. People wake up, go through the motions, and repeat the same cycle without ever questioning where their time is going. But when you have a purpose, when you have a calling, you cannot afford to live like that. You must become intentional about where your time is spent, about who has access to your energy, about what you allow into your mind. Many people waste time waiting for the right moment, waiting for things to be perfect before they take action. They wait for motivation, for inspiration, for a sign that never comes. Meanwhile, time keeps moving, opportunities pass by, doors that could have been opened remain closed because they never took the step forward. The truth is, the right moment will never come. There will always be uncertainty, always be challenges, always be reasons to hesitate. But those who achieve something in life are the ones who take action despite the uncertainty. Some people spend years trying to change others, trying to make people see their worth, trying to convince someone to treat them better, to support them, to appreciate them, but that is wasted energy. You cannot change people who do not want to change. You cannot force someone to see your value if they are blind to it. You cannot spend your life waiting for approval from those who will never give it. Instead of trying to fix broken relationships, instead of trying to prove yourself to those who will never understand, take that energy and invest it in yourself. Build yourself, strengthen yourself, become so focused on your own growth that you no longer have time to worry about who accepts you and who doesn't. Excuses are another way time is wasted. People say they don't have enough time to build their dreams, yet they have hours for distractions. They say they don't have time to read, to learn, to grow, yet they spend time consuming content that adds nothing to their lives. They say they are too busy, yet their schedules are filled with activities that bring no real progress. The truth is, it is not about having time, it is about making time for what truly matters. When you prioritize your purpose, when you eliminate distractions, when you stop wasting time on things that do not matter, you will find that you have more than enough time to create the life you desire. People also waste time holding on to the past, regrets, mistakes, old wounds that no longer serve them. They replay events that cannot be changed, holding on to pain that only keeps them stuck. But every moment spent looking back is a moment not spent moving forward. When you let go of the past, when you release what no longer serves you, you free up space for growth, for new opportunities, for transformation. Another way time is wasted is by constantly seeking validation. Many people never move forward because they are too worried about what others will think. They hesitate to take action because they fear judgment, rejection, or criticism. But the truth is, no matter what you do, people will always have opinions. Some will support you, some will doubt you, and some will try to pull you down. But if you allow the opinions of others to dictate your actions, you will never reach your full potential. Focusing on unnecessary battles also drains time. Not every argument needs a response. Not every criticism needs your attention. The energy wasted on proving a point, on defending yourself against negativity, on trying to convince people who have already made up their minds, is energy that could have been used to build something greater. Successful people understand this. They know that time spent in distractions is time taken away from their goals. If you look at the most successful people, the most disciplined individuals, you will see one common trait. They protect their time. They do not entertain distractions. They do not waste energy on things that do not contribute to their vision. They move with purpose, with focus, with determination, and that is why they rise above the rest. When God chooses you, there is a calling on your life that is different from the rest. You are set apart, destined for something greater, and because of that, you cannot afford to move through life like everyone else. There is a weight to being chosen, a responsibility that comes with knowing you are meant for more. It means your journey will be different. It means you will have to walk a path that others may not understand. It means you will have to make choices that separate you from the crowd. Most people live according to the expectations of the world around them. They follow trends, they do what is popular, they seek validation from those who do not even know their purpose. But when you are chosen, you cannot live for the approval of others. You cannot waste time trying to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. You must move differently. You must think differently. Being chosen means you will face challenges that others may never have to endure. The path will not always be easy. There will be moments of isolation, moments where you feel like no one understands, moments where you question why your journey is so difficult. But you must understand that the challenges are part of the process. Growth does not happen in comfort. Strength is not built without resistance. You are being shaped, refined, and prepared for something greater. The struggles you face are not meant to break you. They are meant to build you into the person God has called you to be. Many people who are chosen find themselves feeling different from a young age. They sense that they do not belong in certain environments, that their mindset does not align with those around them. They have dreams that seem too big, ideas that others do not understand, visions that set them apart. And because of that, they experience rejection, misunderstanding, and sometimes even loneliness. But that is not a mistake. Being set apart means you will not always fit in. It means you are not meant to follow the same path as everyone else. When God calls you, distractions will come. There will be people who try to pull you away from your purpose, situations that attempt to steal your focus, temptations that try to lead you off course. That is why discipline is necessary. You must guard your mind, guard your energy, guard your time. You cannot afford to be careless with your focus. Where you direct your attention determines the path you take. Most people are easily swayed by distractions. They allow the opinions of others to dictate their decisions. They chase temporary pleasures instead of long-term purpose. They surround themselves with people who do not push them to grow, who do not challenge them, who do not encourage them to rise higher. But when you are chosen, you must be intentional about your environment. You must surround yourself with people who are also on a path of growth, people who inspire you, people who understand what it means to have a greater calling. Being chosen also means you will face opposition. Not everyone will support you. Not everyone will understand your journey. Some will doubt you, some will criticize you, and some will even try to pull you down. But you cannot let that stop you. You cannot waste time trying to explain yourself to those who do not want to understand. You cannot lower yourself to meet people at their level of thinking when you are meant to rise higher. There will be moments where you feel like giving up. where the journey feels too difficult, where the weight of your calling feels too heavy. But in those moments, you must remember why you started. You must remind yourself that you were chosen for a reason. The obstacles are not there to stop you. They are there to prepare you. Every struggle, every setback, every challenge is shaping you into the person you need to be. Too many people give up too soon. They let temporary failures convince them that they are not meant to succeed. They allow fear to hold them back from stepping into their purpose. But when you are chosen, you cannot afford to let fear control you. You cannot let doubt keep you from taking action. You must move forward, even when the path is unclear, even when you do not have all the answers, even when you feel uncertain. You have a responsibility to walk in your calling. You have a responsibility to develop the gifts God has given you. The world needs what you have to offer. There are people who need your story, your wisdom, your experience. But if you waste time, if you allow distractions to consume you, if you let fear hold you back, you will never reach the fullness of what God has planned for you. Most people settle for less than what they are capable of. They take the easy path. They avoid discomfort. They stay in situations that no longer serve them because change feels too difficult. But when you are chosen, you do not have the luxury of staying the same. You must grow. You must evolve. You must push yourself beyond your limits. The journey will not be easy, but it will be worth it. Your time is the most valuable asset you have. Every second you spend is a piece of your life that you will never get back. Yet so many people waste their time on things that do not serve them, on distractions that pull them away from their purpose, and on people who do not align with their growth. When you are chosen, you do not have the luxury of wasting time. Your focus must be intentional. Your energy must be protected. Your days must be spent building the life that God has designed for you. The world is full of distractions. Everywhere you look, there is something designed to pull your attention away from what truly matters. Social media, meaningless conversations, unhealthy relationships, and endless entertainment consume the minds of those who are not aware of their purpose. When you are chosen, you must be different. You cannot afford to let distractions control your life. You cannot afford to waste time on things that do not align with your higher calling. You must train your mind to focus on what truly matters, to see beyond temporary pleasure, and to invest in things that bring long-term growth. Many people spend their days reacting to life instead of creating the life they desire. They wake up without a plan, without a vision, without direction. They allow circumstances to dictate their actions. They move through life aimlessly, hoping that things will somehow fall into place. But when you are chosen, you cannot live this way. You must be intentional. You must wake up with purpose. You must know exactly what you are working toward and take deliberate steps to make it a reality. Your time must be spent wisely, every hour accounted for, every moment used to build something meaningful. There are people who will try to steal your time. They will pull you into meaningless conversations, drain your energy with negativity, and distract you from your goals. Some of these people may not even realize what they are doing, and others may do it intentionally. But when you are chosen, you cannot afford to engage in pointless discussions. You cannot afford to surround yourself with people who do not push you to grow. You must be selective with who you allow into your space. You must protect your time as if your future depends on it, because it does. Procrastination is one of the biggest enemies of progress. So many people delay their dreams, waiting for the right time, waiting for the perfect conditions, waiting until they feel ready. But the truth is, there will never be a perfect time. There will always be obstacles, challenges, and uncertainties. If you keep waiting, you will waste years of your life doing nothing. When you are chosen, you must take action now. You must move forward even when you feel unsure. You must step into your calling even when the path is unclear. You must stop making excuses and start making progress. The difference between those who succeed and those who do not is not intelligence, talent, or luck. It is discipline. Successful people are not always the smartest or the most talented, but they are the ones who know how to manage their time. They are the ones who stay focused, who eliminate distractions, who put in the work even when they do not feel like it. They understand that every moment counts, that their future is created by what they do today. If you want to step into your calling, you must adopt this mindset. You must be willing to do what others are not. You must be willing to discipline yourself in ways that most people will not. There will always be things that try to pull you off track, the temptation to relax, to take it easy, to fall into old habits will always be there. But when you are chosen, you must remind yourself of the bigger picture. You must ask yourself, is this helping me get closer to my purpose? Every action you take should be a step toward your goal. Every decision should be made with your future in mind. Wasting time is not an option. Most people regret the time they wasted when it is too late to change it. They look back and wish they had started sooner, wish they had been more focused, wish they had not allowed distractions to control them. Do not let that be your story. Do not let another year pass without making real progress. Do not wake up years from now wishing you had used your time more wisely. The time to act is now. When you are chosen, your life has a greater purpose. That means you cannot live like everyone else. You cannot waste time on meaningless things. You must be different. You must move differently. You must think differently. The path of the chosen is not easy, but it is worth it. Every moment you invest in your growth, every hour you dedicate to your purpose, every sacrifice you make for your vision will lead you closer to the life God has designed for you. The only question is, will you take control of your time or will you let it slip away? When God chooses you, He sets you apart for something greater. You were not created to fit in with the crowd, to follow the same patterns as everyone else, or to settle for a life of mediocrity. You were called to rise above, to walk a different path, to become something more. But with that calling comes responsibility. It requires a shift in how you think, how you act, and how you live your daily life. You cannot expect to step into your purpose while clinging to old habits, toxic relationships, and a mindset that keeps you stuck. You must be willing to change, to grow, to elevate your thinking so that your actions align with the purpose that has been placed on your life. Many people waste years waiting for a breakthrough, hoping for something to change, praying for success, but refusing to take the necessary steps to create it. They want the rewards without the discipline, the blessings without the transformation, the success without the sacrifice. But that is not how it works. When you are chosen, you cannot afford to stay where you are. You must take action. You must make decisions that align with the vision that God has placed in your heart. Every single day, you must choose to move forward, even when it is difficult, even when it is uncomfortable, even when you feel like giving up. One of the greatest barriers to fulfilling your purpose is attachment to the past. Many people hold on to past failures, past mistakes, past versions of themselves that no longer serve them. They replay their failures in their minds, allowing shame and regret to keep them stuck. They cling to old relationships, afraid to let go of people who are no longer aligned with their growth. They resist change, even when they know deep down that something greater is waiting for them. But when God chooses you, He calls you to step into the new. You cannot receive what is ahead if you are still holding on to what is behind. You must release the past so that you can fully embrace the future that is waiting for you. There will be moments when you feel alone on this journey. Being chosen means walking a path that few will understand. It means making sacrifices that others are not willing to make. It means saying no to things that seem normal to everyone else. It means standing firm in your beliefs even when people question you, even when they doubt you, even when they try to convince you that you are wrong. But you must remember that you were never meant to follow the crowd. You were meant to lead. You were meant to create. You were meant to become the person God designed you to be. And that means you must have the courage to stand alone if necessary. Your mindset is the foundation of your success. What you think determines what you do. If you believe you are not capable, you will not take action. If you believe you are not worthy, you will settle for less. If you believe success is impossible, you will never push yourself beyond your comfort zone. But when you shift your mindset, everything changes. When you start to believe in the vision God has placed inside of you, when you see yourself as capable, strong, and chosen, you begin to move differently. You begin to make decisions that align with your purpose. You begin to eliminate distractions, to focus on growth, to invest in yourself. The way you think creates the reality you live in. Most people are waiting for external validation before they take action. They want people to support them, to understand them, to encourage them before they move forward. But the truth is, most of the time, that validation will not come. People will doubt you. Some will discourage you. Others will be indifferent. And if you base your progress on whether people support you, you will never reach your full potential. When you are chosen, you must be willing to move forward even when no one claps for you. You must be willing to believe in yourself when no one else does. You must have the inner drive to keep going, to keep growing, to keep pushing, no matter what. Discipline is the key to transforming your life. It is not motivation that will carry you to success. It is discipline. Motivation fades, emotions fluctuate, but discipline keeps you on track. Discipline means doing what you need to do even when you do not feel like it. It means staying focused when distractions arise. It means pushing forward when obstacles stand in your way. It means showing up for yourself every single day, no matter what. Most people give up when it gets hard. They stop when they feel tired. They quit when they do not see immediate results. But when you are chosen, you must be different. You must stay committed. You must remain focused. You must develop the discipline to follow through on your vision. There will always be moments of doubt. There will always be challenges that test your faith. There will always be setbacks that try to convince you to quit. But when you are chosen, you cannot afford to let those moments define you. You must stand strong. You must remind yourself why you started. You must push past the fear, past the hesitation, past the resistance that tries to hold you back. Because the only thing standing between where you are and where you are meant to be is the decision to keep going. When God chooses you, He instills within you a unique purpose, a divine assignment that only you can fulfill. But too often people spend their time distracted, caught up in things that do not serve them, entangled in relationships that drain them, and focused on external validation rather than internal growth. They look to the world for approval, seeking permission to step into their greatness, waiting for someone else to tell them they are worthy. But when you are chosen, you do not need approval, you do not need validation, you do not need permission. What you need is focus, discipline, and an unwavering belief in the path that has been set before you. Many people waste years chasing things that do not align with their true purpose. They follow trends, chase fleeting pleasures, and seek comfort instead of growth. They spend their time worrying about what others think, measuring their success by comparison rather than by their own internal progress. But when you are chosen, you do not have the luxury of wasting time. Your purpose is too great, your calling too important, your destiny too significant to be sidelined by distractions. You must develop a laser-sharp focus, cutting off anything that does not contribute to your growth. Every moment you waste on things that do not serve you is a moment stolen from the life you were meant to build. The enemy of greatness is distraction. Distraction comes in many forms. It can be the people around you who do not support your vision, the habits that keep you stagnant, or the fears that keep you from taking action. Distraction can be disguised as entertainment, as comfort, as relationships that seem good on the surface, but ultimately hold you back. And if you are not careful, distraction will steal your time, your energy, and your destiny. That is why you must be ruthless in protecting your focus. You must learn to say no to things that do not align with your purpose. You must create boundaries that shield you from negativity and anything that does not contribute to your growth. When God chooses you, He does not ask for perfection. He does not expect you to have it all figured out, but He does require commitment. He requires that you step into the fullness of who you are called to be, and that means making decisions that align with your purpose, even when they are difficult, even when they require sacrifice. Most people are unwilling to do this. They want success, but refuse to leave behind the habits that keep them stuck. They want purpose, but continue to surround themselves with people who drain their energy. They want elevation, but resist the discipline required to grow. But you cannot have both. You cannot step into your future while clinging to the things that keep you tied to your past. The chosen ones are different. They think differently. They move differently. They make decisions based on where they are going, not where they have been. They do not waste time seeking approval from people who do not understand their vision. They do not explain themselves to those who are committed to misunderstanding them. They do not engage in gossip, negativity, or drama that drains their energy. Instead, they focus. They discipline their minds, their emotions, and their actions to align with the life they are called to build. And that is what separates them from the rest. Every great leader, every visionary, every person who has achieved something extraordinary has one thing in common: focus. They do not allow distractions to consume them. They do not spend time on things that do not matter. They do not let fear dictate their decisions. They commit to their purpose with everything they have. And that is what you must do. If you truly believe that God has called you to something greater, then you must act like it. You must prioritize your growth. You must protect your energy. You must remove yourself from anything that does not serve your higher purpose. There will be moments when this journey feels lonely. Not everyone will understand why you have chosen to change. Some people will question your decisions, mock your discipline, and try to pull you back into old patterns. They will remind you of who you used to be, hoping to keep you at their level. But you cannot let them. You must stay committed to your transformation. You must remind yourself daily of the vision God has placed in your heart. You must be willing to walk alone if necessary, because not everyone is meant to go where you are going. Time is the most valuable resource you have. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose opportunities and create new ones, but time, once wasted, can never be recovered. That is why you must be intentional about how you spend it. Stop giving your time to people who drain you. Stop investing in things that do not align with your goals. Stop allowing fear to keep you from taking action. The more intentional you become with your time, the faster you will step into the life you were meant to live. Your purpose requires your full attention. It requires discipline, focus, and unwavering commitment. It requires that you eliminate distractions, remove anything that does not serve you, and move forward with absolute clarity. Because when God chooses you, He does not ask you to fit in. He calls you to stand out.